Leo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. In this video, what we're going to do is go over the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal suns. That's right. So how do you know where your natal sun is? Well, first, your birth date. But your natal sun, whether you knew it or not, is actually positioned on a specific degree within the Leo zodiac sign. It's positioned on 0 to 29 degrees Leo. And you'll find this information out in a natal chart. And you can run those for free on so many websites. Just search it in a search engine. You'll need your date of birth, which you already have, your time of birth, and your place of birth. Not very difficult information to get because it's all on your birth certificate. Call mom, pull out the birth certificate, whatever you need to do. It's actually pretty easy to find. And then it'll spit out a free natal chart, and you can see, it'll tell you what degree the sun was at the moment of your birth. If your sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Leo, you are a Leo 1 because your natal sun is in the first decan or group of 10 degrees of the zodiac sign of Leo. If your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees, your natal sun is in decan 2, so you guys are Leo 2. And then if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Leo, your natal sun is in the third decan of Leo, so you are Leo 3. Now, if you don't have to go get your natal chart right now, that's fine. What I'll do is I will try to summarize the birth dates, the correlating birth dates. This is still sort of, this isn't as accurate as getting the degree, but it could give you a good estimate. We're going to start really, really broad with the things that are impacting everybody this week. And then we're going to whittle it down to how those things are impacting Leos and the things that specifically Leo should pay attention to. And then we're going to get into the decans and the specifics, and definitely watch the whole video, especially if you're not quite sure about where your sun is located. So the big transit is the sun. So yesterday the sun came into Taurus. Very different energy from the sun in Aries. It is a natural square to all different decans of Leo because Taurus is another cardinal sign. Taurus is actually where the North Node is right now, and the sun is going to be conjunct the North Node all week. It will be in a natural square to a certain group of you, the decan 1 Leos. So when your natal sign is going to be square to your, actually, I will say this, when your natal sign is square to the natives of your I'm sorry, not your natal sign, your ruling dignitary is square to you, it could create when your ruling dignitary is square to your natal sun, it could cause some tension within your own self, within your sense of self, like sort of the battle of the internal egos kind of thing. But the sun was into Taurus, and the sun in Taurus is actually very formidable. It's very stubborn. It's very driven. It's very sure of itself. It doesn't like to learn new things. It likes to rely on and really preserve and maintain the things that it already knows. So this next 30 days isn't going to be a huge discovery time for you necessarily, but it is a sense of appreciating what you have. That's definitely a positive that can come from Taurus season. Taurus, the sun in Taurus is also dedicated to luxury things. It likes to have a good time in terms of sensualities. So in terms of whatever pleases or creates pleasure for the five senses, this is what the sun will enjoy in Taurus. It is definitely focused on family and home time. It's honest and reliable. So there's a lot of good qualities about sun in Taurus. And there is a certain group of you who will experience a little bit in the beginning of this week. I'm sorry, this week is from April 21st to April 27th. You'll experience a trine to the sun because you're because you're far enough away or far enough into Leo to be, for your natal suns to be actually in a trine. A trine is 120 degrees, or like 115 to 125 degrees is when planets are forming a trine. So that's a harmonious and very gentle and happy, like almost healing energy. So for those of you who have your natal sun at the very end of Taurus, Leo, Virgo cuspers, you guys will experience that kind of harmony this week. Now, the sun, while it's moving into Taurus, is conjunct the North Node, which means there is an energy and a commitment to moving forward in your life. Like, how is my life going to move forward? The sun will be square to Pluto all week long, and that's a pretty tough energy because it makes for a formidable and imposing energy, an imposing personality that can make other people uncomfortable. So if that tension arises and people think you're just really, really intense, that's coming from the sun square to Pluto. It is also sextile to Saturn this week, which is really helpful energy, especially when it comes to work relationships, work opportunities, the law and authority figures might actually help to open up opportunities for the sun as it moves into Taurus. It's getting in a real, kind of mentality of doing things the right way or the established way. And so sextile to Saturn means that whatever's already established, you're going to have a lot of opportunity. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to actually prosper within that this week. But there's also that square to Pluto, which could cause tension because it makes your personality very formidable. FYI, that's the sun. And that'll impact everybody. But it'll impact you guys in specific ways, and we'll get into that. Now, Mercury has gone into retrograde today. It posted stationary yesterday. It is retrograde officially today, April 21st, and it will be retrograde until May 15th. This isn't an odd retrograde. It's not a super long retrograde, but it is right in the middle of Taurus, and it is going to stay in the middle of Taurus, which means it's going to stay conjunct to Uranus as it retrogrades, which means there's a lot of major tech issues that could happen, a lot of major tech breakdowns, or anything that had gone wrong with major tech that had not been discovered yet. It will come up now, it will surface now, and maybe that's just what needs to happen. So keep your eye on that globally, FYI. Let's go into the decans, shall we? Okay, so Leo ones, it's you guys whose natal sun is going to be square to the current sun and the North Node all week long. The North Node square is longer term. It's going to be square to you guys for the next couple of months. But the sun will move on. It will move deeper into Taurus. So this is really just for this week. But what that means is there's going to be tensions now with yourself, your ego, who you think you are, who you think you know, and where you think you want to go moving forward. There's going to be challenges doing that. It may be just to test your conviction, but ultimately expect those challenges and tests to be cropping up and popping up all week. There's a long-term transit where your natal suns are trine to Neptune loosely. If you guys are basically Cancer, Leo cusps, this is going to impact you the most. This is very creative energy, and it's energy driven toward faith. It's asking you to find your connection to the universal, to the God, to spirit, and through that, allow yourself to grow and transform through creativity. It's actually very harmonious for being musical or being artistic. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. And so if you guys have been growing in that way, this is why. Now, a very difficult long-term transit for you guys, and we've talked about this before, is Pluto. It's an opposition to Pluto, which is in 0 degrees, is at 0 degrees Aquarius. Opposition to Pluto means you are going to be experiencing major life changes. This is especially for those of you who are on the cusp of Cancer, Leo. So that's basically July 23rd, July 24th. Leos, if you are a Leo that's born in July, you are a Leo 1. Pretty much that's what covers it if you want to know the estimated dates of the first decan of Leo. Now, this is a long-term transit, so you guys have just started to feel it. For years, you will feel it. This means that there are major life changes happening, and you're just not going to be able to ignore them. Good or bad, you don't have control over them, so you're going to have to trust in the process of those changes. They may not all be horrible, but the fact that it's not going to be driven by your control can cause issues. And when there are things like square to the current sun happening this week, those things that feel out of your control will feel even more out of your control because of the added pressure and added tensions. So this could be a little bit more of a tense week for you. Definitely fall back on that trine to Neptune and use your creativity, your meditation, and your connectivity to God to help yourself calm. Meditation is awesome. Grounding is awesome. Just a sense of even prayer is awesome for you this week. Don't hesitate to take time out for those things because it will help to calm you and be a tool that's there for you to use. All right, Leo 2s. This is the Leos who basically your birthdays are probably the first week and a half of August, around there, maybe August 1st through the 10th or 11th. Your natal suns are going to be square to the Mercury-Uranus conjunction. This is Mercury retrograde, Uranus conjunction. You are going to feel this Mercury retrograde, Uranus conjunction like crazy. So if your tech starts to freak out, fritz out, all of a sudden your car breaks down, especially major tech, like in your company, you had a big project and all of a sudden IT goes down or emails aren't getting through. This is the kind of stuff that you're going to be experiencing actually for a while because Mercury retrograde is going to sit there. Because of the retrograde, it's going to sit in the second decan of Taurus, which is square to your natal suns for the entire time that it's retrograde. So just hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hats for the next 3 to 4 weeks. FYI. If you want to get a hat, go on. The link is, actually go to my website, www.bornwithoutboundaries tarot. I'm wearing the hat and the shirt for Cancer. It's the only one I have right now, but they're available for Leo. They're available in all 12 zodiac signs, and they're so cute, and it's actually really, really well made. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. It's embroidery. And it's got a metal clasp in back to adjust. It's no plastic stuff, so it's really awesome. And this is available in black or white. And this shirt, this cute little shirt, is available in black or white as well. FYI, just a little bit of a plug, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com. You can go right to my shop at the tip top of the menu. Okay, you have a trine to Chiron. Trine to Chiron, Leo 2s, is actually its own blessing because it's saying you're going to take motivation from the suffering that you've had in the past. So whatever squares that are coming up to you this week or the next 3 weeks, this long-term aspect to Chiron it means that yes, you're going to have problems, but ultimately you have the wisdom to deal with them because you've suffered through similar problems before. This could be why it's happening to you, because Chiron says, hey, use your suffering to help others. It's saying that you've been through this before. It's happening to you again because you're the right person to have it happen to, because not only will you be able to fix the stuff, you will also be able to help others fix stuff. Your experience is going to be really, really prime this week. FYI, actually for the next 3 weeks, because these are all longer term aspects that are going to be impacting you. This week is sextile to Venus. So for just this week, your natal suns are sextile to Venus before she moves deeper into Gemini. That means this could be a very fortunate week for you in terms of your ability to use your skills, because it could lead to more money for you. It could also lead to people loving you more, people finding you more attractive for business matters and for personal matters. So Leo, take advantage of this week because the difficulties will yield productivity and blessings. And then you have a blindness to Mars. So it's a 30-degree angle, and a lot of times when that happens with your natal sun, there's a blindness to what's going on there. Being blindsided by Mars could mean that there are extra accidents that come up, actually could be extra injuries. They don't have to be serious ones, but the sense of stubbing your toe, twisting your ankle, hitting your head, all of those things could be much more common to you this week. FYI, there should be a lot of swearing for you this week, but frustration, absolutely, but also productivity eventually, especially because of that trine to Chiron. It's making things difficult for you to help others in order to make you shine and make people see how valuable your skill sets and your experience are. Trust in it. And then last but not least, we have Decan 3 or Leo 3s. And you guys, your birthdays would be like from the 12th through the end of Leo season. So the 12th through the 22nd or 21st of August. Once again, that's an estimate. Definitely go get your natal chart to know the exact degree. But your natal suns are trying to Jupiter this week. Hello, and actually for a little bit more than this week. So that's a huge blessing. That is harmonious, beautiful. It's one of the most optimistic kind of energies in the spectrum of astrology. So there's expansion and growth, the courage to know that you can, the courage to try, the courage to do, broadening and expanding your understanding of other people, of other languages, of other cultures, and especially your faith. Trines help to bring faith and they help to bring healing, but especially with Jupiter and the sun, this sense of finding faith in yourself by finding or educating yourself about others. This is beautiful energy. You have a long-term quincunx to Neptune, which could just mean different hiccups or fogginess, brain fog every once in a while, or this sense of being distracted easily. So that's not something that is going to hit you like this week because it's been going on for a while. You've probably already adjusted to it, but just an FYI. Loosely, those of you born especially toward the very, very end of Leo season, so Leo, Virgo cuspers, your natal suns are in opposition to Saturn, which means there could be long-term challenges with legal issues, contract issues, authority figures, or paternal figures, FYI. The trine to the sun, the current sun is going to be trine to your natal sun, especially if you're in the beginning of the week. So in the very beginning of the week, when the sun is at 0 to 5 degrees Taurus, your natal suns, if you're born on the Virgo cusp, will actually be trine to the current sun, and that will further, and the fact that it's also going to be trine to Jupiter is a sense of you guys will find a lot of harmony and peace with your sense of self, your courage, your value, your own personal value, and who you are in the world and how people see you. You feel very comfortable with that this week, and it could bring you a bunch of abundance in terms of experiences and opportunities for growth. So that's its own little blessing for you guys this week. I love you so much, and I hope that you'll come to Born Without Boundaries Tarot and watch your week ahead Leo tarot card reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, help us grow, and definitely go shopping because these are freaking adorable. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.